Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cocktails with Dasheen. Tonight's cocktail will be Hennessy. Yeah, brought to you by Hennessy. We will be drinking Hennessy tonight, straight up. No chaser, no ice, no rocks, as they call it. And I'm going to be talking to you guys about what happened while I was in Atlanta. We're going to talk about that. We got some other things and other topics we're going to go over. Yes, we are. And yes, I am wearing my glasses. I got these glasses when I was in Atlanta. I like them. So you like them too, huh? Well, just hold on. Hold tight. I'll be right back, and we'll get this evening started. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cocktails with Dasheen, Episode 2, Season 1. Well, where do I start? First, let's do this. I am in Newark, New Jersey right now, but I had the pleasure of getting a souvenir from one of my girlfriends who went down to the Caribbean islands. As you can hear the waves in the background, that's when she went down there. She brought me back this glass here, and this glass one says Caribbean Airlines. I think that's the only airline, girl. But yeah, I'm gonna be having my Hennessy with this glass that she brought back for me. Let's go ahead and open her up. She's brand new. We'll get her poured in here. Let you guys see this. Ooh, that's a lot, I know. Hopefully by the end of this show, I'll be able to finish all of this. It is Cocktails with Dash. That it is. Ooh, girl. That was strong. So yeah, so I went down to Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, the children were exponentially gorgeous, honey. Yes, everybody was nice. I was cute, of course. I had my outfits and I chose. There was one outfit I wanted to wear that I did not wear. I think I'll save that for another time. I'll wear it maybe when I go back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Got up that morning, got dressed, and put on my clothes and caught the light rail into the city, Newark Penn Station. Took, what did I take? How did I get to the airport? Interesting. Oh, I took a bus. I took the number 62 bus from Penn Station all the way, well, it wasn't Penn Station, from Military Park, actually. I got off of Military Park, took Military Park, and took that bus to Newark Penn Station and went to the airport because my flight was at like 8 o'clock that morning. And it was a pretty nice flight. I will have to admit, American Airlines, they did their shit. I didn't have any problems. Fuck, I didn't get a lawsuit, girl. Nobody treated me wrong. Nobody yelled at me. No Becky's. Because I tell the girls, I identify as Karen. Respectfully, last name Karen, first name Rebecca. So, yeah, so at the airport, everything went well. We pretty much were on time. We had no problems with the flight. So I get down to Atlanta, and the girls just is like, let's go to the store and get some things. And I went and get some things, and they got some things, and we all had some things. Yeah, so I'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Cocktails with Dasheen. We are taking another sip. So, in news, I was reading here that there were some housing advocates rallying against the bill that would allow Airbnbs to come back to NYC. If you weren't aware of that, Airbnbs got kicked out of New York City. They're not allowed to operate there. I'm sure they are probably operating on the black market somewhere, but they're not operating in New York City on their platform. You may have to go somewhere else to get them, but yeah. Anyways, the city comptroller, Brad Lander, basically is introducing his own proposal to make it easier for homeowners to rent out rooms to long-term New Yorkers rather than tourists. Now, I'm all for that. I do believe the housing crisis is a mess. There needs to be some kind of revamp or policies put in place where the landlords are not able to constantly keep raising the rent every single year. Because at some point, when is enough? You're going to be in a one bedroom, 500 square feet, paying damn near $5,000-$6,000 a year, a month, I'm sorry, $5,000-$6,000 a month for a fucking one bedroom. That ain't no bigger than 520 square feet. Their mortgage ain't going up like that. So don't go up on my rent like that. I mean, I just don't agree with that. And that situation right there is a conversation that needs to be had, but with the appropriate people. We do need to find a way to mitigate this issue with housing. The housing crisis all over this country is ridiculous, and it's getting out of hand, and nobody's trying to fix it. And that's the problem we have, because I make a pretty decent amount of money. May not look like I do. I do pretty well for myself, okay? I'm okay. I'm not hurting. However, it gets pretty hard to try to find a place to live when you are working on a minimum wage. And you could bring in $40,000, $50,000 a year as a single person and still have a hard time finding somewhere to live, especially in New York. And I'm not even talking about places like Chicago, San Francisco, places like that. It's you can't do it. You need to be bringing in $100,000 or more. And nobody wants to always have a roommate, but I'm not against roommates. I really am not. But you do want your own. Golden Girls? I'm okay with the Golden Girls. I am one of the Golden Girls. Yes, I am. I will tell you, I'm not Blanche. My other girlfriend, I reserve her to be Blanche. She can be Blanche. That's not me. But yeah, I don't mind, having roommates, but nobody wants to be cramped up in the house with a bunch of guys and girls all the time. I mean, those old ladies, they had some friendships that only exist down in motherfucking Florida, honey. That shit ain't real. On the East Coast, dealing with a bunch of gays, and we are middle-aged or up in age, and you got 4 of us under one roof. Ooh, child, I can imagine the type of shit that'll go on. Can you see the conversations? Okay, everybody will have to have a name. Personalities will have to be checked at the door. And I'm one of those girls. I'm not trying to have multiple men running in and out of my house, honey. That's just, who does that? To each his own when it comes to your sex habits. But please keep that to a minimum. We're not trying to have all these random guys up in here. In our space, I understand your room is over here and mine over there. But this one hallway and this kitchen and this living room, we all share that. And I ain't trying to see Billy and Bob and Tom and Raekwon and Taekwon and Shondon and all the motherfuckers. Child. And then I fuck him. See, that's what I'm talking about. You're going to run into the gay community is small. Nobody wants to be dealing with all that. But yeah, you girls do it. Okay, so I'm just saying, we're going to have to try to find a way to fix this housing crisis. And let's take a shot for the ones that's going down there and rallying and doing something about it, trying to address the shit. Because the shit needs to be addressed. All right, we'll come back and we'll talk about some things in just a moment. Hey people, we are back. Got a little Chris Brown going on in the background. But I'll tell you this, if you didn't know, we are drinking Hennessy. So if you don't have your Hennessy, go ahead and get your Hennessy. We're going to continue with our cocktails with Dasheen. With my Caribbean airline glass from my girlfriend. She thought about a bitch. You can't go on no trip at my job without bringing somebody something back. I don't give a fuck where you go. But everybody at my job, they travel internationally. These bitches don't go nowhere domestically. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. So I had to step my game up. I haven't went anywhere internationally. Well, I'll take that back. I did go on a cruise. She does not really count, but it was some countries I went to that is not part of this fucking country, you know what I'm saying? So I went on a cruise last October, an all-gay cruise. Well, that's what they told me. Kind of find out it wasn't all gay. But we was on the Mardi Gras Carnival, and this was back in October during Halloween time, and I had a fucking fabulous time. I do want to go back with them again. I think it's Brothers at Sea is the name of the people. I'll go ahead and shout them out for those girls who are interested in doing those things. You can find them at brothersatsea.com. And they do lots of different types of trips throughout the year. And that was my first time. I was pretty satisfied with it. I do have one recommendation. Don't tell somebody that booze is included and you don't have booze. And that's the one thing I will have to say. I wasn't really happy with the way that the liquor was handled with the excursions. On the boat, we had plenty of liquor, so I'll give you that. But on the excursions, no. I didn't see top shelf liquor. It wasn't flowing and it wasn't readily available the way it should have been, especially on that party bus. That was, no. We can't have that. You got to step your game up, baby. Because when we came through those little places where you're getting off the boat and you're coming through the little stores, well, I would like to call them bodegas, but they're not bodegas. But the little stores you come through that sell all that shit, they have plenty of liquor there. I could have grabbed some bottles if I had known we was gonna get on that damn party bus and not have Hennessy. I mean, a motherfucking bottle to our motherfucking self would have been cute. But yeah, we paid enough money. That was my only issue with that trip. Other than that, everything else was magnifique. All right, moving right along. So I want to address the Chris Brown thing. Chris Brown is suing Warner Brothers for $500 million. Is it though he needs it, but he is letting them know he ain't playing about that history of violence documentary that they did. Yes, and you haven't seen it, girl. It was something else. That documentary was not the tea. It pretty much depicted him as being like this violent, evil criminal, honey. And Chris Brown is taking legal action months after the documentary, exploring him, like, allegedly history of his violence, and letting you know that you released this shit. And I didn't really, he didn't approve it. Of course he didn't. Nobody really does when it's going to be bad information. But they did put it out there. So I'm going to read a little bit from what they had put out there. They indicated the singer-songwriter sued Warner Brothers, Discovery, and several others for their role in the productions of Chris Brown, A History of Violence. That's the title of the actual piece. A documentary film chronicling Brown's alleged pattern of abuse. Well, we do know this man has a pattern of abuse. We're not going to act like we don't know that. But I guess what he's saying is that the way they told it and the way they put it out there wasn't right. So he is seeking $500 million as in damages, girl. Alleging liability, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Chris, you ain't distressed, girl. Emotional you might be, but you dead on your own. But I think the stress and the emotional will probably be on those victims. However, the alleged situations that they're saying took place in this documentary, I did watch it, and it was shocking at best, but I don't want him to come try to sue me. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't put nothing out there. And I quite frankly don't have enough followers to even have put anything out there to put any defamation on your character. But good luck, Chris. Now, as we return back to season 1, episode 2 with Cocktails with Dash, just got to remind you all what I'm sipping on this evening. It is some Hennessy, and we got quite a few amount of it in this glass. So we can't talk about Chris without talking about Rihanna. So, Bad Girl Riri has some words for Snapchat. If you are not aware of what happened with her and Snapchat, I gotta take my glasses off for this one. Because girl, Riri wasn't having it. So Bad Girl Riri, with her 27 word count that she put in here, because she definitely let them have it in a quick little word count, honey. But then she came back with a longer message. And if you're on Snapchat, or I should say Twitter or Instagram, you probably saw what she wrote. Homegirl said, now Snapchat, I know you already know you ain't my favorite app. Girl. She literally had them have it. She told them they not her favorite app. So she don't use Snapchat. So if you a Navy fan or one of Rihanna's girlfriends, I love Rihanna, don't get me wrong. That is my baby. But I'm not on Snapchat. Never had a Snapchat account. Never will. And yes, I am chewing gum, so fuck all you hoes that got a problem with that. I'm not gonna get rid of my gum, girl. Anyways, so yeah, she told them that's not her favorite app. Started out swinging from the door, girl. She came out swinging. She ain't got no problem with that. So she literally told them, y'all know I'm not, y'all ain't my favorite app. She said, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the point was with this mess. Now, what it is that happened is that apparently there's some kind of game on Snapchat or something they're promoting with a commercial or some type that popped up that was asking you whether you would like to get smacked by Rihanna or punched by Chris Brown. First of all, I truly believe that it's promoting violence. And if the app itself could promote that, a lot of these apps like to hold us captive when we do shit like that. I mean, I'll be on Instagram saying little things about how somebody needs to have their ass whooped because of what they did based on the content I just saw. And I get flagged for the statements that I'm writing. But you are the app. You're the actual owner. And you're advertising, promoting violence. I mean, I really don't understand how they're able to get away with this type of shit. But they do. And with Trump in office, a whole lot of shit gonna be getting ready to. He already released all the goddamn fucking January 6th fucking. I mean, come on. I know y'all been watching the bullshit. This motherfucker already on a rampage of doing shit. He ain't been in office no more than. He ain't been in office a week. Feel like he been in office a whole year already. As many motherfucking executive orders. He would probably go down in history as being the one president that has written or has signed the most executive orders. I don't know why he's always in competition. He wants everything with his name on it. He's got to have the attention. Fuck him. All right, let's get on back to Rihanna and what she had to say. Now, she went on to say that I would love to call it ignorance, but I know you ain't that dumb. Apparently, girl, they are that dumb because they did it, Riri, without even consulting you, girl. But they ain't only do it to you, they did it to Chris Brown too. So I guess Chris Brown should probably be adding them to his $500 million lawsuit. Because that's a defamation of character all day long. Punch back Chris Brown, you can punch me, girl. You can definitely punch me. But you know what? I don't like people who smoke cigarettes, so I don't give a fuck how cute you are, what you got going on. We could be friends, but we ain't gonna be there to do anything sexually. Because I don't do cigarettes at all. Now, it says here that she says you spent money to animate something that would intentionally bring shame to domestic violence victims and made a joke of it. Right about that. They did do that, girl. They did. This isn't about my personal feelings because I don't have much of them. All right, girl. I know that's right. Tell them, girl. But all the women, children, and men that have been victims of domestic violence in the past, and especially the ones who haven't made it out yet. Now, here we go, speaking on the present, the past, and the future. Because there are people right now who are in situations, domestic violence is real. And they're in those situations because they're scared, they're terrified, they don't really feel like they have a way out for whatever reason. And they don't have that support that they feel comfortable enough to actually leave. And people always say, well, when you had enough, you'll get up and you'll go. It's not always easy. It's not that easy. It really isn't. So I don't try to push the envelope on anyone who's going through that. What I will say is, I'm praying for you and I'm hoping that you can get out of that situation. And if you know of anybody who's in that, please be a shoulder, be an ear, be a voice for them. If you can, get them away from the person that they're involved with and do your best to try to keep them away, secure, and make them feel comfortable so that they can take the steps to get out of that situation. I know it's not easy. I'm not any kind of professional or someone who has background in dealing with this, but what I do know is that I witnessed domestic violence in my life. And I won't say it was personal with me or that it happened to anybody I know, but I will say that I certainly have gone through the trauma, and I vowed that I would never let anyone do it to me. But I was someone who went through that as a child. And here I am going into the details. I didn't want to do that. But I feel like this is a very important subject that needs to be talked about, because there is always somebody that we know that is in a relationship that is violent. And one moment you're helping the person in that situation, and then they're back together with that same person who was abusing them. And then you ask yourself, then what the fuck did I get involved for? Because you forgive him or her. I don't. And that's just why I try not to get involved. But is that the right thing to do? Not getting involved? I don't think that's the right thing to do either. But then they say, well, you're getting involved, it's not your business. When someone you love is being beaten or being abused or taken advantage of, you don't sit back and let that not be your business. That is your business. Get all the way the fuck in it. I mean, put your face in front of his or her face and tell her, hey, this ain't happening. Not in my face, not on my watch, not at this time, not in my presence. It's not going to happen. Because until that person know that someone is willing to stand up to him or her, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. Now, the problem is, once they're alone with the victim, they take it out on them. So that's where you have to be careful at, because you don't want to upset the violator. The violator, or the perp, I would like to call them, because at some point, the bitch got to get arrested, okay? Got to get arrested. Ain't no motherfucking way you ain't going to be arrested fucking around with me. Because this is going to be that way, or you can say hello to your maker. Now, I'm not Medea, but I will tell you, hold your peace. If you ain't got one, you better get it one and get it registered. Because everybody should probably be holding a piece. You never know when you're going to have to use that piece. Keep the peace around here. We going to keep some peace. Now, I'm getting a little off subject because I got a little passionate. That's okay. That will happen every now and then. But I'm going to go ahead and continue with saying what Riri had to say about this, because she did have a lot to say. Now, she went on to say that that you let us down by doing that. And she say, shame on you. But now she say, throw the whole fucking app away. The whole appology. Appology is what she said. And I'll read it again, word verbatim. Throw the whole appology away. Basically, Riri is saying delete Snapchat. Especially if you're one of her navies. Because she ain't on there no. I'm sure she's not on there. But somebody caught wind of it and let her know what was going on. And I'm going to say it. Snapchat, shame on you. You deserve to give that woman and every victim who is suffering currently and in those situations an apology. And I recommend that you donate a substantial amount of money to victims of domestic violence. Yes, then don't wait on that. Write that check immediately, because that you're doing more harm just to sell whatever the hell you were trying to sell. Well, I don't know what that was, but that ain't right. That ain't right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have another cocktail because I'm getting a little too emotional about that situation. Now, as I was hanging out in Atlanta, I spent some time with my godson's the mother. Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate that wonderful time. I most definitely have to do that again. And I will do my best to try to be a better guest. There were some situations that I personally had to take responsibility for, an incident that happened on Saturday morning. I don't want to say that was probably early Sunday morning coming in from the club. My apology, my sincere apologies there. But yeah, we're gonna have to hang out more, do a little shopping, brunch, things like that. I was in the street running with my girlfriend, so unfortunately that particular trip was a girls' trip. I just didn't stay with them. for some reasons I won't get into. But yeah, I had a really, really good time hanging out with the girls. And shout out to RT Parties. You guys really gave a really nice event. I enjoyed myself Friday night at the Mix. I did. I enjoyed myself at 840 Ralph David Abernathy. I don't know the name of that goddamn club. I don't know if it's called the 840, but maybe that was the name of the club is, but that was the address. That Saturday main event was really, really nice. You guys had the stage set up pretty well. I feel like you guys put a lot of work into that, so I appreciate you, you know, doing your due diligence to give us our money's worth. I really felt like what we paid for that event and what you gave us was worth it. Plenty of dancers, the DJs was rocking the music. I had an exceptional time. I was indulging in the music, dancing, drinking. Oh, I was doing it all. There was an incident that broke out. I guess I want to say somebody got into a fight. It wasn't anything big when it broke out, and I was there and present when it occurred. It was kind of like behind me. They got that resolved real quickly, and the party continued on. Now, I did go out to my car to get something that I had left. I think I left my phone in the car, so I went out to the car to get my phone, and ran into some people I knew, and I was conversating with them outside, and all of a sudden, this a fluctuation of people just started coming towards us from the club. So I'm like, damn, was everybody leaving? What's going on? Come to find out, somebody had sprayed some mace inside the club. So I never got back in, but my friends and my cousin ended up coming out with the infiltration of that crowd. They ended up coming out as well. And they were like, well, did you get back in? I'm like, no, I said I never got back inside. I said, I'm not even sure what occurred, but everybody was saying that some mace got sprayed and they couldn't breathe and everybody was coughing. So everybody pretty much ended up coming outside. So it seemed like that fight probably was part of that situation that happened earlier on, because they were not back to back. Let's be clear on that. The fight happened probably about 30 minutes or an hour before all of that occurred, because I was still inside the club when the fight broke out. And moments later, I would say about 10, 15 minutes later, I went out to my car. And I was outside with some friends talking for about another 15, 20 minutes. So that amount of time had elapsed before all those people started coming back outside the club. But whoever did that, if you're trying to shut down somebody's party, baby, that's the way to do it. So I don't necessarily know if somebody was pissed at that individual or individuals involved in that party, but that's what happened, girl. They sprayed mace and shut the whole goddamn party down. And I think I found an after party to go to after that. And that's where the night gets blurry. I don't know really what happened after that, because I went to an after party and that was top tier. That was what happened there will stay there. Let's just put it that way. But then I got to my girlfriend house and threw up all over her damn front steps of her house. And I feel so bad for that. I apologize sincerely. But yeah, so yeah. Atlanta was a good treat. Atlanta don't owe me nothing for MLK weekend. Happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We do appreciate and love the fact that you stood up for us. I do have a dream. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you tune in to Cocktails with Dasheen. This has been a Dash Experience production, Cocktails with Dasheen.